I am going to talk about the 2020 recession in spiritual businesses. Hey you guys, this is Ashley for 𝗕𝗨𝗦𝗦 Ministry, home of tarot, Bible, and alchemy. And like I was said, like promised, I am going to talk about the 2020 recession in spiritual businesses. So the Divine Spirit has been saying for a while now that we should start our spiritual businesses. As the collective, we have a calling and we have a mission. So many of us are twin flames or divine partners, and we are waiting on our divine partnerships. We have had some waves come into divine union. Some are waiting for divine union. And when I say waiting, you're supposed to be ascending as you're waiting, okay? You're supposed to be practicing your awakening state, shedding codependency, etc. So with this 2020 recession that's coming up, this is going to be the freeing of a lot of people from the suppressed 3D mindset. It's going to be a lot of awakening individuals, and we're talking about the regular populace. So with that being said, people are going to be leaving a lot of religious institutions. They're going to be leaving a lot of jobs. The pharmaceutical companies are going to fold. And yes, you do hear something in the background. I apologize about that. I do love to be outside. So anyways, so with that being said, it's going to be a huge influx of individuals looking for healing and holistic healing. They're going to be looking for leadership and guidance, and they're going to be looking for new jobs as well. And so the holistic industry is going to have a boost. So some of this is just channel information. Yeah, so there you go. So it's going to be a lot of holistic healing that's going to happen. People are going to be looking for new ways of how to be healed, and to break addictions. Because the pharmaceutical companies, they have a strong hold on a lot of individuals. They write prescriptions left and right. Even with just regular pharmaceuticals, like over the counter type of pharmaceuticals and stuff, like headache medicines and all that type of stuff that's pumped full of chemicals, as well as food too. So what's going to happen is, like, people are going to be looking for healing. They're going to be looking for holistic medicine, like physical medicine, but they're also going to be looking for spiritual food, because they're going to be so stripped of their natural resources in their bodies and in their minds. They're going to be looking for guidance. So for those that have been taught to, or being led or prompted by the Spirit to start teaching, teach new information that may not be even common out here, do not feel discouraged. Because when this happens, and it may not happen necessarily like a traditional recession, but it's going to happen. It's something, you can call it the word recession. I don't know exactly what it will be called. But anyway, I hear a boom or something like that, like bam. And so what I see like this big, huge dam, and then I see like this big, like boulder thing or something hitting that dam, and then it's like whoosh, like all this water. So for those that have been lacking in support, lacking in finances, do not be discouraged, because all of those resources are going to come to who they're supposed to come to, which are the divine ones. You're going to be fully supported by millions, by some maybe thousands, some maybe hundreds of thousands, some maybe millions. We're on different levels, but you may have had to work a part-time job and as well work on your spiritual gifts. You may have been ignoring your spiritual gifts. You may have just stepped out on faith, quit your job, and started doing your spiritual business or your spiritual calling, whatever it may be. And you may have been like penny pinching, or like, oh, I only got 2 views over here, I only got this. Don't worry about that, okay? Because that floodgate is going to overflow. It's going to bust open, and these people are going to be looking for real individuals, okay? So the Divine Spirit knows who's real and who's really about this, okay? So they may not be about it. They may be part of the collective, but they may sort of have their one foot in the worldly aspects and one foot in the spiritual, and they may not, maybe teeter-tottering. But remember, all things are mental, all things are spiritual. And what happens is that many of the individuals are going to be taken care of because of their willingness to go through the activations. So those activations represents the Saturn energy, represents discipline, represents time, and represents transcendence. Okay, so being able to go through what they will call karma, or Saturn's return, or whatever you want to call it. Karma is nothing but change. They're willing to go through those activations and allow themselves to not stay in this type of rat race mindset, not to stay in the lower vibrational understandings and staying in the unawakened state. They allow themselves to be awakened and spiral up in their awakenness, if that's a word, but allowing themselves to be awakened and to align with their higher selves and their divine purpose. And so they're going to be handsomely rewarded. Okay, take this as a promise. Mark this. I don't know the date, but mark this video. You can come back to it when it happens for you, for those that resonate with this message, okay? And so with this recession, and so it's something about this 2020, and the 2020 is talking about a vision. And we're talking about having the spiritual vision. Many of us have had that spiritual vision, but it didn't match up in the physical. We may have left our jobs. We may have left situations that were not conducive for who we really were. But guess what? That vision is paying off. So that spiritual vision is going to match in the physical vision. So for those that have been talking about you, like, oh, you know that such and such did this, or what is wrong with them, it could have even been your divine partner. But those people are going to eat their words up, I hear. Okay, you're going to sit at the table amongst the enemies, okay? And then they're going to watch you feast, okay? All right? And they're going to eat their own words. That's all they're going to have to eat and feed on is their own words, their own lower vibrational understanding of things, okay? So that's what's going to happen. Okay, mark this, okay? One thing that I have been hearing, and I heard this last week, I think it was the Feminine Fridays about 3/11, and I don't know if that's a date or if that's a code or if that's like what it may be. It may mean something to somebody else, but with that 3/11, that could be November 3rd or it could be March 11th. It could be, I don't know what it is. That could be a money combination, or I'm not sure, but 3/11 is one thing that I've been hearing for a while. And so mark this down. Do not give up. If you have been prompted to start your spiritual business, and let me, I'm gonna finish this thought out first and I'm gonna get to something else, that you better start it now, because once that momentum builds up and you try to jump on, you may miss that train. You may have to wait back around and go through a lot of karmic cycles before you can get on the train. I specifically hear it's a train. Like, it may not be a physical train, but like, you know how a train starts off like choo, 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 and it starts to build momentum. So imagine trying to catch a train when it's going like 80 miles per hour. Almost impossible, right? You have to wait till the next stop to get on that train. That's what the Spirit is saying. You better be there waiting at that stop when that train is about to take off, okay? Because you're going to get on that train, and I hear money train. You're going to get on that train, and you're going to, like, take off, yo. Go ahead and get on it. So I also have to discuss spiritual business. So what is the difference between a spiritual business and a regular business? Okay, technically everything is spiritual. Everything is energy work. Okay, so when you see advertising and marketing, that's all energy work. And they're working on emotions, energy and motion, okay? And they know how to do this. What the difference is between a regular business and a spiritual business, if I was running this like a regular business, I would do what is popular. I would have stuck to divine masculine readings and only pulled on people's emotional strings, which I'm not into that, okay? The difference is that spiritual business, you're connecting with your higher self. You're not doing just what is the best, like what feels good in the flesh, what may seem good in the flesh. That's talking about that 20/20 vision, okay? Some may be stuck on that 20, part of the 20 spectrum in the physical. And eventually that's going to fizzle out, okay? Because like I was saying, that it's only appeasing the flesh. But when you are feeding the soul, that's the difference, okay? And that's what lasts forever. So we're building a legacy for our families. We're building a legacy for the collective as well. So we're bringing in new information. We're bringing in new ways of how to do things. And so when that happens, guess what? You will be well taken care of in the physical. So that 20/20 will pair up, okay? And the thing with a spiritual business is that you are being guided by the Spirit. You're not guided by the dollar. So you're not guided by the success. Okay, that will eventually come, okay? You are guided by your inner higher self. And so you have to go through activations. You have to put that work in to let yourself, first of all, for the, not really to let the Spirit know, because the Spirit already knows, but just for the sake of saying this, to let the Spirit know that you're ready for it, and to let yourself know that you're ready for it. At one point you thought, I'm ready for divine union. Yes, I'm ready for my business. Yes, I'm ready for all that. But however, as you awaken, you realize that you really wasn't ready. you didn't have the sustainability to see something through. So that's what the Spirit sent you through, that spiritual boot camp. Like I've been talking about, this was last year, about that spiritual boot camp, about the divine ones about to hit that spiritual boot camp. They're going to go through that spiritual boot camp, strip down the old identity, like no different than when you go into the military, you come in as Joe Blow, okay? And then you receive a new identity. You become part of the collective, part of a unit, part of your soul family, okay? And that's what happens. You start to meet people, your soul family, your soul tribe, and you start to meet yourself, okay? And when that happens, then that's when you take off. That's when things really, really take off. But you got to shed the false self, shed the, I use the word ego self very loosely, and I had to do a whole video on that, about the ego self, the shadow self, and the connectivity with who you really are, blah, 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 your soul contract, all that stuff. But anyways, I just wanted to do that real quick, but I am going to pull a card real quick from the activations deck, Sacred Geometry. And the decks that I use will be listed down below. Okay, while I'm shuffling, if you guys could hit the like button, as well as leave a comment, your spiritual business. If you want to share your spiritual business, you're more than welcome to do your own plug here. That's fine. I'm completely game with that, you know. If you want to collaborate, hit a girl up. Okay, let's do it. All right, okay. Oh, that joint just popped right out. And look what's sitting right next to me. It blew off. Merriment. That came out in the that came out in the Feminine Fridays. I just finished that reading, and it blew off the deck. So here we have fertility, number 27, and empowerment, number 26. You are fully empowered. You're fully fertile, okay? And so one thing that's been coming through is Sarah, that name. And so, you know, names have meanings to them. And so Sarah was Abraham's wife, and she was barren. But guess what God blessed them with in their old age? Like Abraham was like 100 years old, okay? So you may be a certain age, you may have went through a certain amount of things, and you may think that you're not going to be blessed, or you may think that I'm always going to be struggling, but that's not always the case. No different than Sarah. Sarah was able to give birth, I think she was like 80 years old, to Isaac, okay? Isaac, her blessing. Isaac means laughter. You're going to laugh in the face of your enemies that have been talking all that mess, have been laughing at you. You know what? You're fertile, okay? You are fertile. You're fully empowered. You're empowered in this moment to make a decision about your spiritual future as well as your family's future, because this is going to be something huge. This is going to be something people are going to be able to, like, not just leave jobs, but they're going to be able to live the life that they really, really want to live. No worries, okay? You had to go through those struggles, okay, to build those spiritual muscles, okay? And that's what's happening, all right? I also hear like the 𝗕𝗏𝗑𝗧, and so the 𝗕𝗏𝗑𝗧, the three-headed triangle. So that is the full facet of the divinity, okay? And really, you can't really contain. I look at the timer. It's so much information coming through. Look at the timer. It says 13:11. Like I was saying at 3:11. I just happened to look up like that. Okay, so the three facets. Like I was saying, the three facets of the Trinity template, you can never encase the divine, of course. But this is talking about working with the divine energy and pairing the physical, the spiritual, and the mental. The Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit together. All of it, the Trinity template, but on all facets. And this is talking about the 369, that Tesla energy. And with that being said, it's like being fully fulfilled in all aspects of yourself, fully balanced. Okay? Okay. All right, give me a second, all right? So we have number 9 here, and that number 9 is fruitfulness, like how I'm saying, fertility, fruitfulness, you're fertile. Your ground, the ground represents the mind, okay? Those seeds have been planted there, and they're blossoming. The ground also represents the hard work that you've been putting in to break that soil, to put those seeds in there, okay? The Divine Spirit is not blind, okay? The Divine Spirit sees all the work you've been doing, all right? And then you have here not just the pairing of the 6, so you have the spirit man, number 6, and the lower man, or the human man, the carnal man, number 6. So you see the two 6s pairing together, the two parts of the two parts of the brain pairing together, okay? That's what's happening to empower you, okay? The spiritual and the physical coming together to empower you, to make you a full, complete individual. Okay, at first you were almost like a zombie, automated, on autopilot. Oh, people say I should act like this, people say I should do this, that puppeteering type of energy, no, cutting no strings, all right? Give me a second. All right, so number 5 as well, family, soul family. I hear the covenant. I also hear for the crisis. So like I was saying, with this influx of people that need healing, a lot of them are going to come broken, and they're going to need someone that is real, okay? And that's what the Spirit is taking you through, these different avenues, okay? You had to take many detours, but those detours, guess what? You learned the landscape with those detours, okay? And so with this 2020 recession, like, it's a blessing in disguise. Don't have that lack mentality. Some people are going to be getting rich, okay? And so, like, no different than the Great Depression. Some people, yeah, people did suffer, but you also had some people that got rich during that time. You look throughout the history, throughout world history. Damn, look at that. Can y'all see that? Fortune. You always have someone that's going to be on the decline, and you're going to have someone that's going to be on the incline, okay? It's time for the divine ones to come on that incline. We've been putting our work in, all right? Can y'all see that really good? I'm trying to get it good, but it's sort of hard, okay? So that's what's going on. So when you hear all this jazz about the 2020 recession or whatever, look at this on the bottom. We have some money, and then we have unexpected joy. So going from, like, I got a little bit of change in my pocket, I got a little bit of, you know, awakening energy, I got a little bit of energy, to bam, multiplying. And I mentioned that in the Feminine Fridays about, you know, some just, seriously though, I can't just make it up. Look at that. Messages. So that's talking about you will also, not only will you have money, but you also have awakened your spiritual gifts. Even more, you thought you already had some, but you have more in your pocket, okay? This is also talking about divine partnerships paired with these, all right? Coming together. And look, man, I can't make it up. Look, money, and this represents matrimony. And then you have the baby here on the end, underneath of that. Like how I was saying, fertile. Some may be expecting children, or maybe this is talking about the legacy of your children. Also here of childhood. So some may be healing their childhood self. But this is more so talking about the legacy for your children. You're building a legacy, a spiritual, a mental, and a tangible legacy, okay? So keep doing that groundwork, all right? If you guys like this video, please give it a thumbs up, as well as leave a comment about something that you hope to gain in the recession, some of your thoughts about the recession, some of the thoughts about your awakening experiences. Plug your business if you want to. Like, I'm more than happy to support. If you want to collab, go ahead. Let's do it. You know, let's do this, okay? So share if you care as well. All of that helps our analytics. And if you're interested in personal services, that link is down below. If you want to join the Patreon family, that link is also down below. Free energy readings each and every month. Thank you guys so much for your continued support. And for those that give the 613 Higher Wisdom, Higher Knowledge Energetic Exchange, also known as a donation, thank you guys so much for that. All of you guys help to keep this ministry going, okay? And I also want to say that if you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit the notification bell so you can receive notifications when we go live, post new information. I am going to bring Twin Talk back really soon. I am going to be collaborating with other individuals as well. A whole lot is going on. The Tarot Bible Alchemy series, I'm working on that, mainly using the Patreon portal to do that. You got to get all of this stuff together, because when that influx of individuals come, they're going to be looking for new information. They're going to be hungry spiritually, emotionally, physically, mentally. So whatever your avenue may be, you may be a fitness person. They're going to be looking for someone to help them. You may be a holistic medicine woman, I specifically hear. They're going to be looking for that. You may be, I hear cookies, somebody cooks organic cookies or something. Whatever the case may be, continue perfecting your craft. Continue perfecting your recipe, I hear. So someone may be doing something with food, or it may just be a metaphor, whatever it may be, but continue. Work on your craft, work on yourself, because it's coming, all right? Okay, this is Ashley. Thank you guys so much for joining me here for this video. Check out our other videos that we have over here. Peace.